All right, what is
There
up,
we go.
everybody? Welcome to the second episode of the Sports Stampede. How the hell are you? I am AZ Rhino, joined with BuffaloKaay. Hey, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you doing? This is ready for episode 2. Let's get it done.
Yes. All right. So, if you guys have not checked out last week's episode, it is on YouTube. So, if you guys wanted to see our picks for the season, who wins each division and whatnot, and our some fantasy tips and some of BuffaloKaay's Madden Ultimate tips and tricks, go ahead and check that out. Sorry, let me just get a second to collect myself. So, yeah, so we have one game under our belt this week already. We had the Atlanta Falcons take on the Eagles on Thursday night. The Eagles come out victorious. Came down to the last play of the game, but Julio could not come down with the catch. And Philly starts the season off 1-0 on their Super Bowl victory tour for this season. So,
Yeah, that was a rough game to watch, man. I'm not gonna lie. That was a little, I don't know. I don't think it was the start to the season everybody kind of hoped for. Kind of lackluster. There were like 20 penalties throughout the game, really slow, and even the Falcons. It's tough to even say came down to the last play because they had 5 tries from within the 5-yard line to score just on that last segment. They had 2 other drives I think that stalled out within the 10-yard line too. So it was not a great showing if you're a Falcons fan.
no, I mean you can see the struggles they had that plagued them last year with their red zone attempts.
Yeah.
They got some stuff to work out. They definitely do. It's not a last season issue. It's definitely carried over to this season. So Falcons definitely got to figure something out. I know Dan Quinn will do something. They can't just keep throwing it up to Julio every time. It seems like everybody knows that's what's going to happen. That's what they were trying to do on Thursday night, forcing the ball in there.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed to work for a good portion, though. He had, like 160 yards? Like, I know a lot of guys, if you had him on fantasy, he got the points. Like, 10 catches for 160, somewhere around there. But the red zone is a whole different monster for Julio Jones. What was the stat that you pulled out? He's 1 for 20 targeting Julio in the red zone?
Yeah, with all of last season and then Thursday night's game, he's 1 for 20. That's pretty crazy. Not good for fantasy owners, but it's weird how they just can't score in the red zone. What do they need to do to switch it up? Do they need to run it more? They need to spread it out. I mean, you got Sanu on that team. Who's their tight end? Is it still
Hooper? They got Hooper. Yeah, Hooper.
Yeah. So
I mean, he's not bad. I mean, they have other targets. I just don't. I think the chemistry between those two, Matt Ryan and Julio, is so good sometimes, but for some reason, it doesn't work in the red zone. But I think that goes to show you like how good Julio is. Also, like we look at, there's so many other guys in this league that are so like touchdown dependent, especially come fantasy. Like if they don't score at least once a game, they're getting that 3-4 points for you, and that you're done. Julio's getting 20 without touching the end zone. So, like I said, it just goes to show how good he can be. If he ever finds a way to start scoring like Randy Moss used to, 20, 30, 40 touchdowns a year, it would be record breaking.
Yeah. So, not a good game to start the year off, I felt. I mean, we already kind of touched base on it. It was kind of a boring first half. It kind of got a little bit more lively in the second half, but we got all the games coming at us today, with the exception of the Monday night games, but we'll get into that. We'll go through our head-to-head picks, and we'll give our input on who's going to win which game, and then we'll go into some more news and whatnot in our NFL news segment, which is coming up right now. We already kind of touched base on it with the Matt Ryan 1 for 20 targeting Julio Jones in the end zone. That's staggering that they just can't get it done. And then the next one is the Bell holdout. Everybody's heard about it. It's the biggest news of the week. Bell has decided not to report. They went to Cleveland without him, so he's definitely not playing this week. And it looks like James Conner is going to get the start for them. So If you have not, I'm pretty sure he's been picked up in every league by now.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's pretty big news. So
I think
I
he
know
has to.
him. You got him in our league. So
Yeah, it's too hard to leave a starting running back, right? Because running backs are too rare in fantasy football. So for a starter to be available after everybody's draft is generally unheard of. It's going to be, I mean, I don't expect a ton out of James Conner. He could do very well. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh just feeds him the ball relentlessly to try to get his number up, to almost kind of show everybody that they don't need Bell to be successful. If they come out, if James Conner comes out today and rushes for 130 yards and 3 touchdowns, I think a lot of people are going to be, I don't know, especially on the team anyway, they're going to be hesitant to bring Bell back after this.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right on that. Today's going to be a little interesting, though. It's going to be Connor's first start, but the weather's going to be kind of bad in Cleveland today. We'll see how it goes. There's supposed to be rain. Hopefully Connor can hold on to that ball. The Cleveland Browns don't have a bad linebacking group.
Right.
NFL.com actually has him as in the top 10. So Connor's definitely got to have his hands full. I know last year Bell didn't do that well against him, although he held out most of training camp and whatnot. So
Right.
It's definitely something we'll have to watch this week.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, but that's just the James Conner side. I mean, the Bell side of it, the other side of this is huge for the league. Like, you can see a lot of players around the league kind of splitting sides on this. Some are siding with Bell, saying, yep, go ahead, hold out. Maurice Jones-Drew just came out yesterday or this morning, telling him to hold out until week 11. He should get paid his due and make the team wait on him at this point. A lot of other guys don't agree. A lot of guys on his own team don't agree. The guys that are making $600,000 a year, blocking him, opening up those holes. I know Bell's really good, right? He can probably be a great running back on any team.
Yeah.
What he's doing is alienating his teammates, demanding that $25 million a year, and this other guy that's, I get it, linemen are never command that giant contract, right? It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
But this is what, the second or third guy recently that is demanding huge money. I mean, Khalil Mack just got traded because of it.
The thing is, though, he's the last one to get paid. Everybody else has gotten paid. You got Gurley got paid. David Johnson just got an extension. Mack got his paid. Donald got paid. OBJ got paid. Bell's not getting paid. It's weird that the Steelers just don't want to do it. But I think. Know. Go ahead.
I think his antics are a cause for that, though. You're talking about a guy that is perpetually injured, perpetually holds out training camp, perpetually suspended. The guy cannot put together a 16-game season, and he's demanding the top running back money. That's a bit of a stretch. How do you pay somebody $22 million a year as a running back to play 12 games? When you get guys like Alvin Kamara and Kareem Hunt in the 3rd and 4th round to come out and their MVP status, superstar status overnight. I think that running backs are, I think at this point in the NFL, I for the most part, they're a dime a dozen. I think that the impact that you get out of having a really good one and a mediocre one is not a big enough stretch for teams to commit 15-20% of their salary cap to that position.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, that's the same mindset that the owners seem to have. You have all these running backs who, they come out the rookie year and they're breakout stars, and then they want to get their money because it's the running back position in the NFL it's a very small window that they're very productive. They get ran into the ground, and that's the kind of mentality that Bell's kind of going into this with, and we kind of talked about this for the show prep, that Pittsburgh has nothing to lose. They could run Bell into the ground this season and just wreck him essentially and let him walk and let it be someone else's problem. So that's part of the reason why Bell's holding out. He's like, you know what? Why should I give all this effort to you guys when you're not going to respect me for it? Essentially, you're not going to pay me for it. You're just going to run me to the ground, use me for this season and be done with me. So I kind of understand where Bell's coming from with it. I'm not too upset. It sucks because I have him on all 3 of my fantasy teams, so it definitely hurts me. But I all his antics aside and whatnot, the guy is very, very talented. He's a once in a generation type player. He's just phenomenal at what he does. I definitely think he deserves to get paid. I don't think it's gonna be with Pittsburgh. I think he's damaged that relationship beyond repairable. He's already alienated. Like you said, his offensive lineman doesn't even want to block for him anymore. It seems like something like if he came back, like would they just let the defense run by and just line him up?
Yeah, exactly. Like we talked about, I forget what movie it was, but where the linemen just kind of stand there, like, nope, go ahead. Like I can almost see that. Maybe not in a game, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like that first practice, those guys just stand there and they're like, have at it, buddy.
Yep.
When he does come back, probably not until week 11. At this point,
I
don't know if he comes back before week 11 because that relationship is so damaged. I think it's going to be hard for them to come back and kind of start over. Like, how do you restart this?
I don't know. Part of me hopes that maybe he comes out, he apologizes. That was one of the things he got called out. I think Pouncey actually called him out. Said to stop hiding behind your agent and come talk to us like a man.
Right.
So, maybe Bell kind of owns up to it. Let's sit out this week. Prove your point. It's already been there, and then just do what you got to do. But at the same, maybe that Adam Schefter was actually talking about a trade possibility, and that San Francisco is a great option for this. But I don't know if San Francisco is willing to pay for that because he's not guaranteed to stay. Steelers are going to be asking for a lot. So
I don't know.
He might be stuck there.
I think he's going to be stuck. I mean, the Steelers just went through this last year with Martavis Bryant. Not the same thing, but had a guy that didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And they refused to move him. They sat on him for the season. So I don't know. I don't know. I think the Steelers, as an organization, they got to be tired of this, right? Like, I'm sure they just want to get back to just playing football. And it seems like every year they have these major distractions that are going on, and that's not helping. And I think I would not be surprised if they're just ready to, I don't know, get rid of these issues.
Move on, yeah. So, good discussion there. I think it's going to be a hot topic for the next few weeks until something happens, But fingers crossed for me, fantasy-wise, he comes back if something figures out. But other than that, it looks like my fantasy season's going to be an uphill climb for me. And anybody else that drafted him. So I kind of had hope that things were going to get figured out, and it kind of bit me in the rear. So moving on, David Johnson gets his extension, 3 years, I think $39 million extension.
Yeah, $39 million.
Great to see. Living in Arizona, I'm a big fan of David Johnson. That guy is very talented. I know he's got big goals for this season. He's been publicly telling radio shows and media that he wants 1,000 yards receiving and 1,000 yards rushing. It's a pretty big goal, and it's going to put a lot of wear and tear on him. Yeah, for you because you drafted him. But
I have him in all 3 of my leagues as well. Like that's who I ended up winning all 3 of my leagues.
Yeah,
so if he can pull that off, if he can pull that off, that'll be tremendous. And I think he can. Like, he looks good coming back. I mean, it's not. People were saying, "Oh, he's coming back off injury. You got to watch out for him." This wasn't a lower body injury, right? This wasn't his hip. This wasn't a leg. This wasn't an ankle. It wasn't even a shoulder. It was a wrist on his non-carrying hand. Like, he was held out because of risk of further injury. And he was held out last year because they just weren't competitive down the stretch.
Yeah,
so
there was no reason to bring him back.
Exactly. So he's going to come back in. His conditioning looks great. I mean, we've all seen him in preseason and training camp. He looks tremendous.
He's a beast.
It's going to be so much fun to watch. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see him today. David Johnson is, I think right now, he may be the most electric, well-rounded running back in football.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. He's all around. He played receiver in college, so that's why he's got the hands for it. That's just, I'm interested to see how Bradford and him work together if Bradford can stay healthy. That's always been the biggest knock on Bradford.
Right.
But that's a game that I'm going to be watching today while I'm watching the Broncos play the Seahawks, is just to see what David Johnson does. I'm excited to have him back. I am a diehard Broncos fan, but I do root for the Cardinals, so it's gonna be cool to see. Another news that came out recently was Gronkowski blocked a trade. It looked like the Patriots had a deal in place, and Gronk threatened retirement than playing for another team.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that he was, those rumors were coming out that he was contemplating retirement, but then it comes out that it was because of a trade. It wasn't just him. I mean, well, it kind of seemed like it last year at the end of the Super Bowl. Him and Brady both seemed very non-committal about coming back this year. They weren't sure. So it looks like, this trade was in the works, in the talks, and that may have been pushing him to completely walk away. I did not see who it was to or what the terms could have been for a trade. I'm sure it would have been massive. I can't even fathom what someone had to give up to get Gronkowski. I mean, 2 firsts for Mac. I mean, what does Gronk go for? Obviously the best tight end ever to play the game.
Ooh, ever, huh? That's a hot take.
Ever. Yeah, he's a Buffalo native too, by the way. FYI.
Yeah, I know.
Gotta throw that out there.
It's definitely interesting. I think you kind of touched base on it with the whole. It's the Patriots have been on this pedestal in football for the better over a decade now. And to see this last offseason, kind of things are unraveling a little bit. You have a lot of former players coming out saying that it's not fun to be there. And then you have, Brady, kind of him and Hahn didn't report until late. You got Gronkowski threatening retirement and whatnot. It's interesting to kind of, is Belichick losing his grasp on the Patriots? It's just a lot of damaged relationships now, it seems there.
Yeah, it seems some things are very odd. I mean, even you go back to the Jimmy G trade last year, even this year, like the normal, the Patriot way that we've been accustomed to, hearing about, went a little bit off the rails this offseason. Even like during OTAs, like they cut everything short, which I guess has never been, like Belichick's never done that. They went out and practiced 2 or 3 times, and they canceled all the rest of the OTAs. Which is definitely not the normal Patriot way. So it had people kind of, wondering what exactly is going on behind closed doors right now. But we'll wait and see. I mean, it's still Brady, it's still Gronk, it's still Belichick, and every other 6th round draft pick that they can come up with from every other team's practice squad.
Every guy bagging groceries.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how, but it works. You don't have to like it, but you have to. I mean, if you have eyeballs, you see what they're doing is, head and shoulders above anybody else in the league over the past 2 decades. Anyway, it's the constant repeats. I mean, I know Brady has a lot of Super Bowl wins. He also has a lot of Super Bowl losses, but to be able to have both of those numbers is unreal.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I dislike Brady, you gotta give the guy credit.
Yeah,
he's the greatest to play the game.
Yeah, I mean, everybody outside of New England, for the most part, 99% of all NFL fans outside of New England hate the Patriots and they hate Tom Brady. And that's fine. You can hate all you want, but you also, I mean, I'm a Bills fan. Trust me, I'm stuck playing this guy twice a year. The hate is real, but you also respect him. You can't not just be in awe sometimes. I'm sure it's been the same for all the great quarterbacks over the years. You look at Steve Young, Joe Montana, John Elway, like the guys in that division. I'm sure for a long time, like, I hate this guy. When is he going to be done?
Yep.
But I mean, except unless you're Brett Favre in Minnesota and then he comes to your team, that was just weird. It's just like if Brady ever came to Buffalo, I don't know what I would do. I'd be like,
you'd be happy. You'd buy a Brady jersey.
I don't know if I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It'd be weird.
Well, it'd probably, Tony Montana, Montana going to Kansas City at the end of his career.
Right.
I know they're not the same division, but you got these guys that get the end of their career and then they just try to keep the magic going. I wonder if that'll happen with Brady. I think he'll actually retire before it ever gets to that point.
Yeah, no, I think he'll retire before he gets to that point. I know even like some Bills players have done the same thing. I think Thurman Thomas went to the Dolphins for a little bit of a stint before he came back and retired as a Bill. Bruce Smith went to Washington for a little bit, who they lost the Super Bowl to not long before that. So, I mean, that stung some people, but everybody, these guys, even if they do leave, they usually go back to their original team and retire there, even if those
sign a
1 day
one-day,
contract deals. Yeah.
Emmitt Smith came to the Cardinals and
Right. Yep.
yeah. All right. Other news we had. What else is out there? We had Keanu Neal of the Falcons with an ACL tear. He is done for the season. That's a big blow to the Falcons.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, I mean, it's kind of a short week. You had some news come out about former and current Seahawks players that came out anonymously in a report about how Pete Carroll favored Wilson, and a lot of the defense and other teammates hated that, which is kind of interesting. It seems like the whole Seahawks thing is just unraveling before our eyes. They lost a lot of key members on that defense. Now this is coming out. It's interesting to see how they react this year. I know a lot of the experts and whatnot have the Seahawks going like 4 wins total, 4-12 on the season.
Right.
I can't see them doing that, even with all the pieces they lost. I know you disagree, but I think Wilson is a good quarterback. That's with him in there. You had Von Miller coming out. He's like, out of all the quarterbacks in the league, the guy I hate facing is Russell Wilson, because he said usually when you get in the backfield and you touch the quarterback, they'll just go down, where Wilson will actually get out of it and run around for another 10 seconds, and wear everybody out. So that news coming out is very interesting. I don't know what to make of it. Pete Carroll is definitely going to have his hands full, dealing with a lot of this drama.
Well, I don't know though. I don't know. I don't know. Football winning's going to fix everything, right? If they come out today and they play well, a lot of that stuff. I mean, that's just a report. The guys in the locker room already knew it. It was nothing new to the guys that are there, and they've still been out there playing and doing it just fine. Pete Carroll came out, I think it was this morning, and just basically said he doesn't care about that report. Like, they asked him about it and he was like, so what?
Yeah.
So I think they're going to go back to business as usual. I don't expect too many feathers ruffled up there in Seattle.
A lot of those big egos are gone. Like I said, I mean, Sherman's no longer there. He was a big voice in that locker room. Michael Bennett's gone. Cam Chancellor's gone. I think they still have Wagner and Thomas there, who are like the staples of that defense. So
yeah, for now, I mean, who knows? I think they're a team that might be on the way of sending out your pieces and starting over. I mean, their defense.
Oh yeah, they're already in the middle of a rebuild.
Yeah. We had some other big news too, though. A couple like fantasy notes, especially for IDP guys. Joey Bosa is I cannot, for you Bolts fans out there, man. The pain is real. I think the entire NFL feels for you guys. Like it seems to happen just every time you turn on the news, and I feel it's terrible. But I guess he's searching for a second opinion now. Maybe he won't be I don't know, done. I mean, he's officially ruled out week 1. We don't know what else is going on. He's right now being considered questionable for week 2. I don't know where that takes him. It's odd, I think, to go for a second opinion if you're only expecting to be out for 1 week.
Yeah, it kind of surprised everybody. I play in an IDP league. It's the team or the league that I won last year. And of course, I drafted Bell, out. I drafted Bosa, my top defensive player, now out. So 2 big blows to my IDP team. Apparently, it surprised everybody. He just showed up one day in a walking boot. So as a Broncos fan, screw the Chargers. But I got to give Joey Bosa respect. That guy's definitely a stud defensive end. So
yeah.
See what happens. I guess that's a big blow for my fantasy team. So
yeah.
But I bet Patrick Mahomes is definitely happy that he doesn't have to go against Bosa this week. So
right. We'll do another quick rundown of guys that are in and out today. Greg Olsen is in. Jermaine Kearse is doubtful. Byron Maxwell was released on an injury settlement. Will Fuller, questionable. He actually looks doubtful, right? He's supposed to be a game time decision, but what we read this morning, he looks doubtful to play. If you have Will Fuller in, you've got about 2 hours to take him out of there. Brent Grimes, also doubtful. But for you Jags fan, looks like your tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins and Ramsey are both full goes today. And Devontae Parker is most likely out as well. Interested to see how he does. Somebody's got to catch the ball in Miami. I know they added in some other pieces around him, but I think Parker could do decent up there if he can stay on the field. We'll see how. We'll keep an eye on him.
All right, so that's pretty much it for our NFL news segment. So now Kay and I are going to go through the matchups for today and tomorrow. We'll start off with the Bills at Ravens. BuffaloKays team, the Bills. How do you feel about this game? How do you feel about your team's chances?
I have no idea. I'm not going to lie. It's Nathan Peterman. All anybody ever thinks about is 5 interceptions.
5-pick Peterman
in the first half. It's not even like a game. It's not even it was 1 half of football, 5 interceptions. The Bills' offensive line looks absolutely terrible. So I think I really have to go with Baltimore on this one. I don't think Baltimore is a fantastic team. I think they're about an 8-8 kind of team. Same as they have been in the last 2-3 years. But I think the Bills are a 2-14 team. So and I don't think this is one of the games they take on. Yeah. So you're telling me that Peterman's only in there so the Bills can tank and get that first overall pick. Yep. Not opposed at this point. After seeing that offensive line, I'm not opposed. Shady's getting up there, so we'll see. And they have no wide receivers. When Calvin Benjamin is your top wide receiver, you have an issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's not looking good for the Bills, unfortunately. I'm rooting for you guys, but the Ravens went out and addressed their wide receiver position in the offseason. They signed Michael Crabtree, they signed Willie Snead, they signed John Brown. So they got 3 new receivers on that team that weren't there last season to give Joe Flacco some help. And you got Alex Collins coming out of the backfield, and then you got their, Ravens still have a pretty good defense, not looking good. It's in Baltimore. I think the Bills are DOA on this one. So
I agree.
Peterman doesn't throw 5 picks and a half.
Yeah, I mean that's all I can hope for, right? Who knows? Like if Peterman can come out and actually play really well, we'll see. I don't know how that goes. I think the one thing that I really don't want to see, I don't want to see Josh Allen come in like at halftime because Peterman is just blowing it. I want him to play decent. I want him to, hold on to that spot. I don't want Allen to touch the field this year. That offensive line is so bad, and the team's not going to be very good. The defense needs a lot of work. So why throw the young kid out there now? Let Peterman in there, fall to the bottom, take your number 1 overall pick, and we'll move on. I mean, even in this game alone, Baltimore's favored by 8.5 points. I don't think they were favored by 8.5 points at all last year.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with you with the whole Josh Allen thing. We'll see what happens. You know how fans get. They get restless if the season's going sideways in a hurry.
Right.
You guys took top 10 draft pick and used it on Josh Allen, so people are going to be calling for him. But I think it would be wise to keep him benched, let him get comfortable with it. Let the franchise, patch some holes and give Josh Allen a fair shot next year. I think he's got the talent. He's got the arm for sure. He looked really good in the preseason.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But no reason to rush it. So next one, Jags at Giants. We got OBJ versus Ramsey. Ramsey's got a hurt ankle. Should be good to go for the game, but that's an intriguing matchup. The Giants get all the receivers back. We talked about this last week where basically the Giants lost all their receiving core last year outside of Sterling Shepard. So they got OBJ back. Sterling Shepard's moving to the number 2 role. So I'm interested to see how they do. That Jags defense, though, is still scary good. I think last year was not a fluke. They're going to repeat as AFC South champs. We discussed this last week. So see what they do. I think I don't know. I'm going to go with the Jags on this one.
I have the same thing. I have the Jags. I think the Giants are going to be vastly improved. I think they're going to be. This isn't going to be a blowout game, right? Jacksonville's not going to hold the Giants to 150 yards of total offense. The Giants are going to put up points today. A lot of people want to see this. They can't wait to see Saquon Barkley, see how he looks, and see how things look with a solid tight end, a solid running back, 2 decent wide receivers. 1 decent wide receiver, 1 elite status wide receiver. And it's a good test for them. It's a good test for the Giants offense to go out there against one of the top defenses from last year and see if they can prove that they are for real and ready to make a move forward.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. This is Barkley's first official regular season start, and he's going against that defense.
Yeah, I know,
That's
right?
rough. That is rough.
Yeah, but if he breaks off, 140 and 2 touchdowns today, everyone's going to go crazy for this guy. So we'll see see how that jumps in later today. I don't know. I'll be popping into that game quite a bit today.
Oh yeah, and then next on the list we got the Buccaneers at the Saints. We got Brett Grimes out, so
yeah.
Kay and I talked about this in the pregame. We feel like this is going to be the blowout of the week. I think the Saints are going to have a field day. It's at home. You got Kamara, Breeze, Michael Thomas. It's. I think the Saints are got a little chip on their shoulder after how the playoffs ended for them last year. So
oh yeah, 100%.
They're going to come out with vengeance and just take it out on the Bucs. Unfortunately, they have no Jameis Winston. You got Ryan Fitzpatrick starting for them. They still got some pretty good receivers on that side of the ball, though. So we'll see what happens.
Don't doubt the beard, man. Don't just discount the beard.
Hey,
the
local
beard...
talent, by the way. He went to Arizona High School.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I mean, if you're in a suicide league, the Saints are your slam dunk pick this week, more than any other. I don't think Tampa Bay, with everybody that's out right now, is going to hold any kind of chance of slowing these guys down. I think the Saints are going to have their way today. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, though. I mean, it could be one of those. It's weird for a week 1, but it could be a week 1 trap game.
True.
It's week 1. They're looking at it. I mean, the Saints know who's out on the other side of the field. If that, lets them lose their focus, things could go sideways quick. But I don't anticipate it at all, by any means. I expect Kamara to run all over him. I expect Breeze to throw at will to Michael Thomas whenever he wants. So yeah, slam dunk for the Saints today.
Okay, moving on. The next one is, I think, the game of the week. Texans at Patriots. You got Deshaun Watson coming back. The Patriots, they're always in the mix for, the playoffs. And I had a hard time picking this one. I want the Texans to win. I think they have a better defense. Deshaun Watson was a stud last year before he blew his knee out. You still got Hopkins on that side of the ball. You got Lamar Miller. I think this is going to be a really, really good game. I'm going with the Texans on this one. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm surprised it's not a primetime game, to be honest. Kay, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I thought this was going to be one of our, our split games. I thought I was going against the grain here, picking Houston. It's still New England, right? I still expect them to be very good and win their division and, do well in the playoffs. They started off the season really, really rocky last year. Like, if you remember last season, like the first 2 weeks, everybody was like, oh my God, the Patriots are a mess. They're, they're a shell of what they were before. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the same thing right now. This season, we'll see. And don't forget, I mean, these two teams met last year, and Deshaun Watson not only did well against New England's defense, but he shredded their defense up and down the field. I expect Deshaun Watson to come back 100%. He's not even wearing a brace. He's out there, been doing everything that he did last year. He hasn't slowed down one bit. So I think the first quote, upset of the season is going to come early at 1:00, and New England's a 7-point favorite at home. I think Houston can take him. I don't think anybody really has an answer yet for how good Deshaun Watson can be when he's good. Yeah. And if he's good today, I think he's going to take it.
Yeah, I mean, it's sophomore season for him. Let's see what he can do. Kid's got a high ceiling. I think he's. It was unfortunate that he went down with that knee injury last year. I think he could have done big things for the Texans. So
right.
The new year, new approach. So see what happens.
Yeah.
Next one, you were excited about this one, the Niners at Vikings. I'll have you start off.
Yeah, Niners at Vikings. I think this one's going to be a fun game to watch. First big test, right? First big test for everybody that's really on this new San Francisco, I don't want to say bandwagon, but I mean, I don't know. We'll see how Jimmy G can hold up. I mean, this is a big test for him. He has to go at Minnesota and try to keep going from 5-0 last year. I don't know. I don't know. Everyone's like, a lot of guys are saying San Francisco is going to the Super Bowl because Jimmy G came in and he finished off great last year.
Yeah.
I don't know how that how that ends for them this year, I still am taking Minnesota in this game, hands down.
Oh yeah,
I think Minnesota's they're a solid team all the way around, and I think they're going to do very, very well this year. Their defense is great. Their offense, was good enough. I don't want to say good enough last year. I'm still not sold on Dalvin Cook as the running back, but I mean their passing game has been very good, and I think San Francisco still has a lot to be proven. They have a lot of new pieces this week, so we'll see how they end up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued. I think the Vikings are going to come back. I think they only got better by signing Cousins. Keenum did a fantastic job last year. I'm excited to see what he can do as a Bronco. But they have so many weapons on the offense with the Vikings, and I don't know. There's a lot of hype for Jimmy G. Like you said, last year he finished the season 5-0. He's being praised all over the Bay Area, and all the Niners fans are just excited about it. But the Niners lost McKinnon to an ACL, so they got Matt Breida and drawing a blank, Alfred Morris, splitting carries. You got who's the receiver? Goodwin, and then what? I think the Vikings just have an all-around way better team,
right?
But yeah, I think it's a no-brainer that the Vikings are going to win this one.
Yeah, hands down.
Hands down, easy. What do we got next? We have Titans at Dolphins. Not really a lot of hype going around this game, but
yeah, I mean, I don't want to say there's definitely not. I don't know, not a big marquee game for anybody.
Yeah.
But I'm picking the Titans. I think the Titans have a pretty solid team. Miami, I don't think they're going to be terrible this year, but I don't think they're going to be, any force to be reckoned with. Maybe an 8-8 team. Tannehill's back. I think Tannehill plays really well. He plays some games where he's out of his mind. Good. I mean, the guy can throw for 400 yards a game. He's done it before, but I don't know. He's got a banged up injury core, right? They lose Landry. He's got Devontae Parker's got a hurt hand. So they're depleted. I think Tennessee walks away with this one pretty easily.
Like you said, Tannehill's coming back. Tannehill's so weird. He's got all this talent, but he just can't put it together. I really thought with Adam Gase going there, because Adam Gase did phenomenal things with the Broncos, that he was going to be able to have a lot of success with the Dolphins. But Tannehill's just kind of that guy, I feel like he's just, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but he is back. He hasn't played a game in 20 months or something like that.
Yeah, it's been a while.
They don't have Devontae Parker going today, but they got Amendola that they signed. They got who else was it? Who else do they have on that team? I drafted the guy too. Why am I having a brain fart? Who is it?
I don't know who you're talking about.
The other wide receiver starting opposite of Amendola. Why am I not Devontae Parker? Wow,
that's about it. Man. It's like Devontae Parker and Amendola. That's it.
Yeah,
but they're all injured.
Kenny Stills. That's who I was thinking. And then you got the Titans, who I think are just getting better with Mariota. Mariota's getting better every year. You got Travis Henry, Deion Lewis running the ball. They signed Malcolm Butler, Patriots Super Bowl hero. I think the Titans win this one.
Yeah, hands down.
Yeah. Not a lot to say about that game. I apologize to Titans and Dolphins fans out there. Just kind of a meh game. Next, we have the Bengals at Colts. We have Andrew Luck making his comeback. I'm definitely intrigued to see how he does. I love the memes that they come out with. The Civil War Luck. Have you seen those? It's hilarious. But he's back. I'm definitely intrigued to see what they do. You got Dalton on the other side, who's my sleeper pick of the week, I think, at quarterback. You got AJ Green. He looked really good in the preseason. Eifert's back from his back injury. Hopefully he can stay healthy.
Right.
Did I actually pick this game? You can go ahead and make your.
I hope so.
No, I picked the Colts on this one.
Yeah, I'm the same. I went with the Colts on this one too. I think they're coming back. They're healthy. I think they're going to make a solid push. I'm not real high on either one of these teams, but I think the Colts will take this.
we'll just move on to the next one. Steelers at Browns. You go. There's a lot of hype surrounding the Browns this offseason. All the moves they made, all the acquisitions. You got Josh Gordon, who's cleared to play. They traded for Jarvis Landry. Drafted Baker Mayfield, who's not going to start. They're going to still go with Tyrod Taylor. Carlos Hyde they signed. They drafted Nick Chubb. And they still have a really good defense. And then the Steelers, we already kind of talked about. They have no Le'Veon Bell. They got James Conner starting for them. But you got Juju and Antonio Brown. So this is definitely an intriguing matchup this week. It's a game that I'm going to keep an eye on just to see how it plays out. It's going to be bad weather. It's going to be raining. So we'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think this is going to be I think the Steelers have this hands down. I know that Cleveland added in all these pieces. It's still Tyrod Taylor throwing the ball. And actually, I think this should be our Twitter poll this week. I don't know. Does Tyrod Taylor throw for over 170 yards today? I think 170 is his over-under against the Steelers defense. And the Steelers defense is not top-notch.
No, they're banged up. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think... I think the Steelers take it. If you're good with it, I'll throw this Twitter poll up today. I think Tyrod Taylor 170 might be the over/under for this guy.
Oof. Go for it, man.
Tyrod Taylor, let's not forget last season, he threw for less than 150 yards combined in 2 games in a row. It took 3 games to get over 150 yards for this guy. I don't think, especially in a rain game, I'm not expecting giant things. So I'm thinking Steelers all the way today.
I think it's going to be really close. I can't say Steelers all. I have the Steelers picked. However, I would not be surprised at all if Cleveland won today.
I would be surprised.
We'll see what happens. They were on Hard Knocks. There's a lot of hype. Let's see if they can own it.
Hype,
Jarvis Landry's been hyping it up. What's that?
I said I think everybody's been able to watch them, so I think that's feeding the hype,
Yeah.
And they had the the number 1 and number 5 draft picks that I still think they messed up.
They didn't mess it up at all because we got Chubb.
Well, yeah, exactly. I don't know why you don't take either Barkley or Chubb and then a quarterback at 5. But because their second guy that they got at 5 was no one cares. I think they whiffed on that one. But either way, moving on. We got more picks.
Moving on. All right, we got Chiefs.
I get bad talk Cleveland all day.
Chiefs at Chargers. Definitely an intriguing matchup, being a Broncos fan within the division. You got Patrick Mahomes starting for the Chiefs. You got Hunt, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. I'm intrigued to see what happens. I know you were pretty high on the whole Tyreek Hill, and then Mahomes just bombing it to him. The Chargers have a good defense, so I'm interested to see if Kansas City's line can give Mahomes enough time to let Hill get open and have him bomb it down the field.
Yeah, this is where Bosa being out is a huge deal. This is a huge deal for them. I think out of all the games this week, I think the highest scoring games are going to come down to this one and the Houston New England game. I think those two will be our highest scoring games of the week. And I think the Chargers take it out. I think they finally, even with all their injuries, this isn't new for them, right? This is standard day in Chargers land. I think the Bolts take it in a high scoring, 48-41 kind of game. I think this one's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and I'm looking forward to this one. I'm glad it's a late game. I'm glad it's a 4:00 game, so I can pop in and watch this one after the Bills start off 0-1.
Like I said, this is definitely going to be a good matchup. With outside the Bosa injury, I don't know who else is a major injury concern on the Chargers. I know they brought back Antonio Gates because they lost Hunter Henry. It'll be a good game.
You got that one right. You got that Henry right.
Yeah, there you go.
Travis Henry doesn't play anymore. It's Derrick Henry you were talking about.
Derrick Henry, damn it. Dude, I am literally running on no sleep. I have not slept.
That's true. We gotta cut Rhino some credit, guys. He was up all night with the baby Rhino.
The baby.
And, he's a little
all right.
All over the
Next place. One, my beloved Broncos at home taking on the Seahawks. We struggle against the Seahawks. Everybody knows what happened at Super Bowl 48. I'm not proud about it. I'm not as bitter as I was because Super Bowl 50 happened, but the Seahawks are the Seahawks. They've had a lot of turnover. Richard Sherman's not there anymore. They have no Michael Bennett. Cam Chancellor retired. Earl Thomas just came back out of holding out. He's not 100%, but he is starting today for the Seahawks, so I'm intrigued to see how that goes. The Broncos definitely have some questions in their secondary. You got Chris Harris, who's a stud, but they lost to Lieb. You got Roby stepping up into a major role. We'll see what happens. You have Pac-Man Jones, who they signed. Who knows how that's going to go. I think a guy to watch for the Seahawks is Lockett, just to see if he can take advantage of some of the kind of question marks in the Broncos secondary. And then you have Keenum making his first official start for the Broncos, and Royce Freeman getting the start in the backfield. So a lot of questions. It's kind of hard to pick which way this is going to go. Obviously, I want a Broncos win. I'm picking the Broncos, obviously. Why would I go against them? But there's huge questions on both sides, on both teams. I don't know which way is going to go where. Like I said, they got a lot of holes in the Seahawks and a lot of question marks with the Broncos.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%. I think Denver, despite everything that both these teams have question marks all over the field. Doug Baldwin being out too for Seattle kind of makes takes them down out? Even. I don't know if he's out. He's injured.
I know he's not a full. I know he's got a knee issue, but I don't think he's out. I think he's playing. He's just not 100%.
Right. I mean, in this league, though, him running 80% is a big drop off. But I think Denver wins this. I'm looking forward to seeing Von Miller and Bradley Chubb on the field. That's going to be
so excited.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. NFL.com has the Broncos as the top linebacking group. So just saying, a lot of hype this year.
We'll
all right, moving on to the next
I'm not
one.
surprised.
Yeah. I'm just excited. I get a chub thinking about it. Anyways, going on. We got the Cowboys at Panthers. I'll let you kick this one off, Kay.
Cowboys at Panthers. All right. Who did I pick on this? I'm going as much as I don't want to. This is one of those, you ever give those picks where you're like, well, maybe they won't play. Maybe the stadium will catch on fire and, no one can go there today. This is one of those games for me. I am so far down on Carolina. And I'm even further down on Dallas. Sorry, Cowboys fans. I know we've gone through this before. I think Carolina takes this game. I think Carolina's going to stack the box with 9 guys. I think Luke Kuechly's going to have a sole job to watch Zeke every single play. And they're going to make Dak throw the ball, and I don't know if he can.
Yeah, we're on the same page. We talked about this last week. I think Dak was exposed last year with not having Elliott. So I think the defenses are just going to stack it. Kuechly's going to keep an eye on him. And then, who do they have at receiver? They got Allen Hurns. They don't have Brian anymore. Who are they got?
The rest of
Beasley?
the rest of their little sideshow group of guys. They kind of run the same receiving core as New England, but New England has Brady and the Cowboys have Prescott. It's the same talent level at receiver. It's just different than at quarterback. I'm Panthers. You have Cam Newton. The guy's talented, but I think the Broncos ruined him in the Super Bowl. He hasn't quite been the same. So this is who did I end up picking on this? And this is one that I kind of him and hot on as well. I picked Carolina. So I don't think we have anything different this year or this week.
Did we really pick all the same? I guess we'll find out after this week. But,
yeah.
I know we got a lot of flack last week for just kind of bragging on the Cowboys, but they have to prove themselves. I think Dak definitely has to step it up and see if he's really meant to be the franchise quarterback for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
What we got next? We got Redskins at Cards. So my hometown team, the Arizona Cardinals, going to DC. Kind of a new look. They got Sam Bradford starting at quarterback for him. See if he can hold up. When Bradford's healthy, he's a great quarterback. He's got a high completion percentage. We got David Johnson back, which we already touched base on. You still got Larry Fitzgerald. The defense looked really good. A lot of ball hawks. Steve Wilkes has got him playing really aggressive, which is kind of cool to see. Patrick Peterson kind of letting loose. He's never been able to kind of do that with Bruce Arians. So when you got the Redskins, who signed Alex Smith, and then you got they signed Adrian Peterson. You got Chris Thompson. Who you got at wide receiver? Is Garcon still there?
Maybe. I don't. Maybe is
I
that
don't
their
really
top,
look at these rosters.
their top guy? I don't. I don't know. Either way, I think I'm taking Arizona to win this one.
Yeah, with David Johnson coming back, it's.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, Johnson. Like we talked about before, him. I think he's gonna have an MVP year. I think they're going to be set to go. I mean, I like Alex Smith as a quarterback. He's your, the consummate game manager. But if they get behind, I don't know that he can, drive the field late in the fourth and seal the deal for them. I think the Cardinals take this one. It's not going to be an easy matchup. It's in Arizona, not in Washington. This one, I believe, is.
Oh, it is in Arizona. My bad.
Yeah, at Cardinals.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm taking Arizona on this one.
Yeah, the crowd's going to be loud, especially with David Johnson back. They're really excited here to see what happens. I know a lot of Arizona fans who are just they got a lot of high expectations. They're one of my wild card picks. I think they're going to squeak in. They're not going to win the division. I think the Rams are just too good. They have too much talent. Yeah. So I think Arizona's going to squeak in with a wild card. But yeah. Sunday night matchup is the Bears at Packers. The Bears just traded for Khalil Mack. I'm sure Rodgers isn't too excited about that. You got Trubisky going into a sophomore year. You still got Jordan Howard. Who they signed? They signed Allen Robinson in the offseason. And then you got the Packers, who were still the Packers. They lost Jordy Nelson. They got rid of him. Rodgers is coming back healthy. Everybody's saying he's the best QB right now, even better than Brady. I think this is going to be an intriguing matchup. I think Mack is probably going to terrorize Rodgers a little bit today, but I think the Packers are going to come out on top.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think Rodgers coming back is going to play just fine. I don't like their running back situation, but they never have good running backs, so it doesn't matter. I mean, they still got Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams, and now Jimmy Graham.
That's right.
For the big red zone target for Aaron Rodgers, I think Green Bay comes in and I don't want to say walks all over Chicago. I mean, Khalil Mack is a big pickup, but I don't think he's going to be a game breaker day one.
No, but
he could be though with no game, like with limited time in the game plan. Like his game plan is going to be go get the quarterback every play. Like that's it. No more, no responsibilities, no gap control. Just go get him.
Well, the NFL.com has the Bears as the second best linebacking core, right behind the Broncos. Just saying.
Okay, and the Bills have one of the best secondaries, and they're still going to go 2-14.
I think it's going to be closer. I don't know. I'm not high on Trubisky. He did not look good last season.
Right.
I know they were trying to baby him, so I wonder if they're going to kind of let him loose this season to see what he has.
Yeah.
It's an intriguing matchup to watch, just kind of see. But I think the Packers are going to walk away with that one. Then we got game one of our Monday night doubleheader. Kind of a meh matchup. The Jets at Lions. You got the Jets starting Sam Darnold, youngest QB to start a game since 1970. Kind of, I don't know. You got the Lions, who they're my pick. You got Stafford, is always good. You got Golden Tate. The Lions are just that team that they look good offensively. They just can't quite put it all together.
Yeah.
They still don't have a playoff win.
Yeah. This is, if there's a good game for Sam Darnold to come out in for his first game, it's this one, Monday night against Detroit. This would be a good
coming out party. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the extra day to get ready for it. He can see how the rest of the NFL goes, get used to the media, whatever he's got to do to get used to playing, being the starter in a primetime game. He gets to kick that off right off the bat. And it's against Detroit, not a super threatening team. I still think Detroit wins this, though. I think it's hard for me to bet on a rookie quarterback on Monday Night Football in his first game.
Yeah, that's spotlight's big for your first game, Darnold. So we'll see what happens with that one. And then the second Monday night game, you have the Rams at Raiders, which is an intriguing matchup. I think the Rams are going to win. I think it's going to be a good game, but I don't know. The Rams, like I said, I've been high on them all offseason. They got just too much talent. The only thing that I think that can hold them back is their egos. There's a lot of superstars on that team.
Yeah.
But I think if the defense can just shut them down with Wade Phillips coaching that side of the ball, and then you can just kind of ride Gurley, control the clock, and just keep the Raiders offense off the field. I mean, Derek Carr and Cooper are a good tandem to have. They got Lynch coming back, which I still don't understand.
I don't know. He's banged up though. Like, he's been limited, so yeah. I'm not expecting a whole lot out of Lynch. Same thing. I can't pick Oakland here. I have to go with the Rams. Oakland's not a bad team, right? They're not a bad team. They're
no, they're not bad.
I like Derek Carr. He can make things happen. I like him as a quarterback.
Yeah, Gruden coaching it.
Yeah, that part, we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, we'll see.
They added in Jordy Nelson. They have Amari Cooper. They have Seth Roberts, who's okay, but I don't know. Their backfield with Marshawn Lynch and Doug Martin, I'm not too thrilled with that.
Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know why. I seriously thought Lynch retired.
Yeah, I thought
again.
So too. Yeah.
But okay, so there's our head-to-head picks for the week, everybody. We'll see. We're gonna keep track of how we do, and we'll touch base on this every week just to see how good we are. We'll eat crow when we need to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it'll be fun to kind of keep track of all this. Like, you get a lot of people, I feel, with like the big shows and whatnot, and we'll take our picks seriously, and we'll hold ourselves accountable for it. So we'll see how good we really are. All right, moving on. Fantasy news. We're going to go into sleeper picks. My 2 sleeper picks for this week are going to be Andy Dalton and Ricky Seals-Jones of the Cardinals at tight end. Seals-Jones had a good stretch last season where it was, it was like 2 games. He caught like 8 passes and 3 touchdowns or something like that. So he's coming back. Bradford and him have a pretty good connection so far, so I'm intrigued to see how that goes. The Cardinals typically don't use tight end that much, but now we got a new coach in there, so I'm intrigued to see how it works out. And then Andy Dalton, you still have AJ Green on that offense. You got Tyler Eifert coming back from his back injury. As long as he can stay healthy, he's got 2 really good targets. They drafted Ross, who has the fastest 40 time, so they got a really, really fast guy on the outside there. So that's my sleeper picks for this week. Kay, let's hear about yours.
The only guy I've got, I don't know if he's really a sleeper. I think he's just a guy that kind of came on late, is Mike Gillislee for New Orleans being added in to kind of take over backup duties there at running back and kick return duties. I think, I mean, I don't expect huge things out of Gillislee, but Kamara is the only running back right now in New Orleans that can play. Anything goes down with him, Gillislee is going to be, a go-to guy. We've seen it before. He's done it in Buffalo. He's done it in New England. The guy can be a touchdown machine. Inside the 10-yard line today, he might snatch away some touchdowns from Kamara. So he's not a bad guy to keep an eye on if you need somebody. I know it's early. You shouldn't be dead in the water. But if you have Bell and your next option is Chris Ivory, Gillislee might be a little lower on the list somewhere in your player pool in your draft league. So keep an eye out for him.
All right. Solid choice. He's supposed to fill the Ingram role while he's suspended. So we'll see how that plays out. Kamara is a beast, though. One of those running backs that's a rookie came out swinging. So
exactly.
Let's see if he can duplicate what he did last season. We'll go over some injuries. Greg Olsen is questionable with a back. It looks like he should play, though. Devontae Parker, we kind of touched base on. He is doubtful due to a finger injury. Josh Gordon, hamstring, was a full participant in practice Friday and was removed from the injury report. We'll see if he actually sees the field. And then Marlon Mack with a hamstring injury is questionable as well for the Colts. And outside of that, there's a lot of stuff on the defensive side of the ball, but these are the offensive side. So we'll see how it goes. If you got Greg Olsen, kind of keep an eye on that. Devontae Parker, you should know. You should probably have him on your bench. And then Marlon Mack, I actually drafted in one league. But he's on my bench, so. Yeah. Let's get into the Madden market talk. This is where Kay shines. He gets all glowy. Look at him. He's already excited.
Maybe, hopefully you guys made a ton of cards today. Rhino, I know you made a couple 100K yesterday, 400,000 or 500,000 yesterday.
4K.
4K. Oh, 4K.
400K. 400K, not 4K.
Jesus.
I'm tired. I'm sorry. Get it together.
400,000 a day. I'm actually down 1.2 million right now, but I bought so many cards this week. I can't wait till Monday to sell them. But before we go into when to buy and sell this week, just a little bit of news. Like, I know the news came out about the auto bidder coming out on PS4. Right, they're testing out this new auto bidder system. This is not going to kill the market. This is not going to kill sniping. This is more of like an eBay style auction house tool, right? So like some of these guys, so right now some people go into the auction house and they sort by like price, right? They try to find this 85 overall card for 100 coins, and they sit there and bid on it for 3 hours and get it for the same price they would buy it now for.
Okay.
Sometimes that works out though. Sometimes you can get a card for 4, 5, 6,000 coins under value. This one now, if you go into it and say there's an 85 overall card that you want to bid on, it's at 10,000. You don't want to sit there for the next hour bidding on it. You can say, well, I will pay up to 26,000 coins for this. You can put in 26,000, and then if somebody else bids 11,000, it auto bids you to 12. They bid 13, it auto bids you to 14. It's just kind of like how eBay does that auto bid feature. So I think the days of finding cards for 100 coins are going to be over. But the majority of our sniping methods do not involve sorting by price. It's just not effective enough to bother with that. So I don't think it's going to hurt too much. At least the method that I use, the method that I try to show people to do with kind of playing the market, buying and holding stuff until their value rises, and even searching, just by buy now or newest. You're looking for cards you can buy then and flip knowing their current value. You don't want to wait 8 hours for an auction to end to see if you're going to even have something to use. So I'm not gonna freak out about that.
Okay.
We talked about a little bit about trends. So we are seeing really, really solid trends right now. Right? Like I track this stuff every single day. Some of you guys know that. Some of you guys have access to it. The trends are so predictable right now. It is unreal. Like, it is so easy to make coins right now. And we're also seeing like what is directly affecting prices. If we don't get good bundles that nobody buys, these prices are absolutely refusing to drop. Like that happened this week. Last week we were able to buy 82, 83 overall cards for 11,000 all day. Like we couldn't buy them fast enough. They were everywhere for 11,000 coins. This week it was hard to get them at 14,000.
Yeah, it was a rough week.
So yeah, it was tough. We didn't load up on a bunch of those guys this week. But so our normal trends, like, because we can see when things come out now, right? So Monday's our big sell day. If you need to know when you want to buy cards, it's on Monday.
No, sell cards on Monday.
Or yeah, sell cards on Monday. I'm sorry. When you want to know when you want to sell your core elites, I'm talking 80s to 85s. Monday is the day. Everybody needs elite tokens on Mondays for flashbacks, veterans, and heavyweights. That drives the price of these core elite cards through the roof. So if you're looking to sell your cards for maximum value, sell them on Mondays. Mondays, you can get rid of 80 to 81 overall cards for 12,000. 82, 83s for close to 20,000. Your 80, 45s, they don't really fluctuate too much, so don't expect huge jumps on those. But your 80, 83s, you can easily in a couple days make 8,000 coin profit per card. Like, that's not unheard of. Best day to buy has been Thursdays and Fridays, hands down. When new bundles come out on Thursdays and Fridays, if they're good bundles, people buy them up like crazy, and they end up with a bunch of useless core elite cards, and they throw them up in the auction house, and it gets flooded and it drives the market down. That's how we bought a ton of 82 to 83 overall cards for like 11,000 last week. Didn't drop as far this week, but we still bought a bunch at like 14, and we'll sell them again on Monday, tomorrow, for about 18,000, maybe more. So we'll see how that goes. So keep an eye on those normal trends. The other big trend to watch that we were hoping for, and it happened this week, Legends. Version 1 to 3 Legend cards. I bought a ton of these guys early in the week. Not early in the week, late in the week, like Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, you bought them all. I couldn't find any.
Yeah, like 19 to 21,000. And then sold them all yesterday for 30,000 coins. So it was easily a 10,000 K turnaround per card. And they were up there everywhere. Like, you didn't have to dig for it. It didn't take you all day. Legend cards were the way to go. It was so easy to make coins. It used to be that Legends dropped on Saturday, right? You wanted to sell them on Friday because they dropped on Saturday because everybody opened up the Legend bundles. Saturday is now the day to sell your Legend cards because everybody wants to do that set. Everybody wants to do that set. So, I mean, you turn in 3 version 1 to 3 cards and you get a version 4 or 5. Sometimes you get really good. I don't recommend doing it though. It's 150,000 coins to do that set.
Oof.
150,000. You can almost go buy any, Legend card piece that you need for 150K. If you do it twice, you're out 300K. At this point, you can buy the full Legend. Like don't do that set. Just go sell your cards and make your coins. I think the set is garbage. I've done it a few times on stream to show people what's up, and I've gotten nothing good out of it. It is a total waste.
I find that shocking.
But people love. We can tell people all day, right? Buying packs is not good for you. Doing sets is not good for you. What's addicting in this game? Buying packs and doing sets. Like the game's set up that way for you to be excited to go do these things. Like I love ripping
Bundle
packs.
hype.
Yeah, and I will tell you every day, I'm like, don't open packs. They're so bad. Just save your coins and buy your player. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go open 50 packs today. You can't help it. Yeah, so that's where we're going to go. One thing we did notice about the market, too, trends-wise, and I had a couple conversations with people about this. Weekend League rewards and monthly Weekend League rewards had almost zero effect on the market. The only things that are affecting the market are bundles that come out and the requirements or any kind of set that you need tokens for. So forget about waiting for Weekend League rewards to come out to drop prices. Gatorade players were in monthly rewards. We were waiting for JJ Watt to go down in price. He went up 30,000 coins. So zero effect from Weekend League rewards. So don't bank on those to influence the market at all ever. So we did have outside of the market too, other stuff that's coming out good. Lots of new cards. Football Outsiders should be dropping, about 15 minutes ago? They're live right now. You guys that are out there online, Football Outsiders should be out right now. We also had our Ultimate Kickoff promo. Yeah, well, going back real quick, the Football Outsiders, I'm usually not a big fan, right? I usually get a kicker out of that from a pack that I open up on accident, and I keep them for a long time. But that's about it. The Football Outsider guys are usually, never anything crazy like you have to have on your team. The Ultimate Kickoff promo, I'm a fan of. I think some of the cards are really good. The boss players are phenomenal. That Antonio Brown looks great.
Yeah, I can't wait to go.
All of them look great, actually. But the promo, it comes with 99 solos, man. For our solo grinders, you got your wish.
Such a grind, man.
Oh. Somebody was telling me they were about 7 hours in and they weren't in. They weren't done. But so EA is kind of following the same thing they did last year, right? So if you do all the solos and you do your objectives for the promo, you'll get enough for a free 90 overall player. One of them's Casey Hayward, who has 90 man, 93 zone, and 90 press. He's only got 86 speed. 86 speed as a nickel corner. Trust me, good enough. He's a lockdown kind of corner. He's so good. And somebody showed me a picture of 90 Zeke yesterday, powered up.
Oh, dude.
The team chemistries. He goes up to like a 93 or a 94 with 92 speed.
Yeah, it's insane.
He's a monster. But yeah, so great stuff. And they said the promo that with the promos, you can do everything that you need to do to get at least one free 90 overall. So don't miss that. We also kicked off the week with our first Team of the Week sets, our first Team of the Week promos. I think it ends today. So if you did not go in, make sure you just go in and get your Team of the Week token. That's all you do, go in and play 1 2-minute solo, get your Team of the Week solo. You're gonna want those by the end of the year. They're so good. They usually, I think last year we got a free Team of the Year player. So make sure you go in, do that one solo, and grab your token. Do not miss out on that. That Tyreek Hill from the Team of the Week looks fantastic.
He is great.
Yeah, you have him. Go. I mean,
yep.
Just he looks just disgusting, absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, huge upgrade over just the regular power up Tyreek Hill. Like it's, his speed I think only improves by 1, but everything else goes up by like 7 or 8 points. It's nuts.
Right. Yeah, no, he's great, but he has competition now because we got new legends and new limited Herman Miller. I gotta pull, or not Herman Miller, Herman Moore. Herman Moore's back in the game, guys. Herman Moore, this guy Comes in stock, 6'4", 89 speed, 89 excel, 91 agility, 92 jump, 91 catch, 91 spec catch, 91 deep route. I mean, what?
Kay's excited, everybody.
This card is so good. But he's at like 700,000 coins right now, like 680,000 coins. So it's gonna be a minute. But oh my god, like the cards that are being released this year early are just blowing my mind.
Yeah, you touched base on that last week, and it's weird. I wonder
every week
what kind of cards we're gonna get later in the season.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like every week I'm like, well, how do they top this? We already got Vic, we already got Barry, we already got Dawkins. We got Herman Moore. I mean, what is I don't know, expecting like a surprise Calvin Johnson on Monday, like who knows how fast this stuff's coming out. We did get Larry Allen too, another right guard, but I did Marshall Yanda out of the Diamond set, so I'm going to keep him. He was cheaper than Allen is. Allen's price is going to come down because of Yanda, so don't freak out about that card. But one of my favorite D tackles in the game, John Randall, is out this week. His card's not super great. It's good if you need another D tackle. If you're running 4-3 and you want 2 solid D tackles, John Randall's your guy. I like him. He's usually one of the fastest D tackles in the game. So if you can get a good block shed on him, he's on the quarterback very, very quickly. If you're a guy that doesn't like to blitz often and you like to get there with coverage, if he can break free, he gets back there really quick. So he's always a good pickup for my team. And that about does it for the market and our Madden corner here.
Hell yeah, this is where Kay shines. He gets all excited. He gets giddy.
I get excited, I get mad, I get sad, I get tingly, all kinds of stuff happens.
So make sure you guys go check out Kay's YouTube channel. He's got some really good tips that he's been throwing out this week on how to do solo battles, how to snipe. And I'm sure they're going to keep coming. It looks like he's getting the hang of it and he's really enjoying making these videos. So
it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. YouTube. How come nobody told me YouTube was fun? You guys kept this a secret from me.
Oh yeah. Shh. So that's basically it. That wraps up our show for this week.
Yeah, that's it.
Any closing statements you want to go over? Want to take any questions from the chat? Chat, you guys got anything you want us to touch base
on?
Any
last minute questions? Let me throw up this. What do you call this?
Twitter poll.
Twitter poll, real quick. Thanks. My brain stopped mid sentence there.
All right, so make sure you guys go check out that Twitter poll. Kay has posted it on his Twitter.
Just went live. Let me throw the link out in chat real quick for everybody.
Why is butterscotch ice cream so dominant to any form of ice cream? Asking the real questions there, director.
Yeah. All right, guys, it's up. The poll is up for 24 hours. The over-under on Tyrod Taylor is 170. Does he get over or under 170 throwing yards? I don't care what he does on the ground. This is throwing
over.
Yards. I can't even vote. It's not fair.
Sucker.
Guys, hit that up. We'll go over it next week and see how he does. And you guys, hey, if Tyrod plays well, you guys can shoot me down for just being a hater. It won't change me from being a hater, but I'll just be wrong for a week.
You hate on Tyrod.
I do. I feel bad if he's gonna watch this. Like, why you hate me, dude? I'm like, I don't know. I can't help it.
He's gonna tweet out.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Another great episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let us know when we post this on YouTube. Any comments, feedback. We want to make this better. We make it for you guys watching. So this is episode 2 of hopefully many. We're gonna get the hang of this. We'll hit more fluid with it. So we're still kind of figuring everything out. But yeah, appreciate you guys all watching, and make sure you drop a follow. Twitch. Kay and I both stream on Twitch. We have YouTube, Twitter. Make sure you guys go check us all out on all that. And we will see you guys next week, same time, for week 2 of the season. We'll go over some more news and whatnot and check back. So, Kay, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, same as always, guys. Have a good week and go Bills.
All right, guys, take care.